Listen, we're in the Champions League. We're in the Champions League. Finishing top 3. We're in the Champions League. Where's Liverpool? Not there. Where's Chelsea? Not there. Where's Spurs? Not there. Oh my God! You're not going blind.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to United View. Welcome back to Matchday Reloaded, live here in Panenka Studios. As always, we are in the Champions League, just about that much still, just there. Oh my goodness me, what a game. Manchester United 1, FC Copenhagen 0. The drama last night, a late Harry Maguire goal and an even later Andre Onana penalty save. The last kick of the game with United's Champions League hopes hanging there like by a thread, and Andre Onana snatched it, said, no, we're not going out of the Champions League just yet. I mean, there's still plenty of games to go and all could be for nothing, but let's park that. Let's park that to one side. Let's reflect on the performance, because it was not a perfect performance by any stretch of the imagination at all. But hoping that it's a turning point. And I know we've said this a lot recently, but let's hope that it's a turning point. It's 3 wins in a row. They have not been a pretty 3 wins in a row, but they are 3 wins nevertheless. So we've got plenty to get into this morning. We've got manager quotes, we've got player quotes, we've got match reactions, we've got the highlights of Flex reacting to the match in the stands, and oh my goodness me, it was a roller coaster of emotions. We've got the reactions from those inside UVHQ, the match view highlights. We've got Flex's view, KG's view. We've got an interview with Rasmus Hojlund after the game at Old Trafford. We've got reactions from Raph and Rich. So it's a jam-packed match day reloaded. You know what to do. I'll say it early and I'll never say it again. Hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. Click the notification bell. You'll be notified when new videos come up. It's a jam-packed day here at United View. You've got match day reloaded. You've got Trafford talk, and maybe, just maybe something else too. You never know what's on the horizon here at United View. So how is everybody doing this morning? Are we all doing good? I can see lots of people in the chat saying all elite. Says morning family, I've still got the redemption energy flowing through my veins this morning. Yes, redemption certainly for Harry Maguire and for Andre Onana, 2 names of course that have been heavily criticised. I mean, Maguire over the longer term, of course. Andre Onana, since he came into Manchester United earlier this summer, it's been a tough start, to put it lightly, for the Cameroon goalkeeper between the sticks at Old Trafford, but last night hopefully was a big turning point for him. Let's get into the player quotes, because I've got to keep this one on track today, because we've got so much to get to. So Harry Maguire obviously scored the winning goal, a header. His head's effing massive, as he said on social media. He said after the game, quote, "It was one of those nights where it was meant to be, dedicated to Sir Bobby and his family." Of course, it was the first home game since the sad passing of Sir Bobby Charlton. I don't know about you, I thought the tribute was fantastic last night, with Erik Ten Hag coming out. Dan Gore was there as well, laying the wreath at Old Trafford, and a really fitting tribute before the match, and the drama involved in how we won the game and Andre Onana's penalty save, and all of that. It was just a fitting tribute and an emotionally charged evening, certainly. Maguire continued by saying, "Incredible, we have to be more clinical. We had numerous counter-attacks and we didn't give them a chance in the second half." Well, and I disagree. We kind of did. They had a penalty, Harry. We didn't give a chance in the second half, apart from the penalty right at the end, which Andre Onana had to make the save. I think he would be referring to more the fact that in the second half, our wastefulness really came back to bite us, didn't it? Let's be honest. We should have and could have easily been 3-0, 4-0 up. There were massive gilt-edged chances for the likes of Alejandro Garnacho, a couple actually, once when McTominay played him through as well. So we had, but the real gilt-edged chances when he's through on goal and does a heavy touch. Marcus Rashford the same, Scott McTominay the same. We could have very, very easily, Christian Eriksen also as well, pulled out a good save from the goalkeeper too. We could have easily have been 3 or 4-0 up, and we should have put the game comfortably to bed. And when you're wasteful and you don't take your chances, it felt like a familiar story realistically, didn't it? Whereby, don't take your chances, you make your own luck sometimes, and it nearly came back to bite us, and we were bailed out by our goalkeeper as well. Erik ten Hag spoke after the game, and he didn't really pull any punches as to how poor the first half was for Manchester United. He said, quote, "First half was really poor. It was not perfect, but an important win. This man, Andre Onana, stepped up. It was a massive save. It's been a tough week for us away at Sheffield United, and losing someone like Sir Bobby, it affects the club and the dressing room, but really pleased we could get the win tonight." Harry Maguire spoke about the adulation he got at Old Trafford last night with the fans singing his name. He said, quote, "It is amazing. When you are not on your game, it gets picked up. But I'm really proud and pleased how I've acted over the last 6 to 12 months. I've been given an opportunity and I want to help the team and get the club back to where it should be." And obviously, we're going to go into individual players later on in the show, so I don't want to appear like I'm sort of skirting over these quotes or anything like that. But obviously, a huge credit to Harry Maguire because, as we've always said when it comes to him, it's all about performances. All about performances, and you can't argue. He got an assist against Brentford. He was man of the match against Sheffield United, and he gets the winner last night. I mean, I don't know how sustainable that is for a centre-back, but again, credit to him. Now, one of the big turning points that people were pointing out in the game was the introduction of Christian Eriksen at halftime for Sofyan Amrabat. Erik ten Hag spoke about this after the game, saying, quote, "Christian is always positive. You see, he brings football. We didn't have the football in the first half." He continued on by saying, "Every time we have to change at the back, if you look back to last year, we had a very good back four. It was consistent. Every time we control the game. This season, we have to swap and make adjustments in the back, and the midfield opens up. We have struggled to get the right balance." He said, "After a poor first half, we stayed calm. Second half, we stepped up, and overall, we created more chances than them. The win is justified, but it was a narrow escape in the end. Of course, it's incredible and a great night, especially in the dying second when you can see the penalty, but a brilliant save from Andre Onana." He spoke about, obviously, the players in Onana and Maguire who have received criticism this season, certainly. Ten Hag said, quote, "Those players, Harry Maguire played a good game and Andre Onana as well. He had an important save just after half-time. We should have got a penalty on Marcus Rashford, and I do not know why it was not a penalty. It was onside, but he did not give a penalty. Finally, we've dealt with it and stepped up. A few weeks ago, we got out of rhythm from referee decisions," basically saying that we reacted well to not having things go our way. I thought the Rashford one was offside. Isn't that the whole point of automated offside? Nevertheless, there you go. He mentions, as I mentioned, a poor first half, but we stayed calm, and in the second half, we stepped up. We made more chances than them. It was a narrow escape in the end. Now, once again, talking about Christian Eriksen, Erik ten Hag said, quote, Christian Eriksen coming on, quote, "Very important. Christian is always positive. He brings football, and we did not have the football in the first half. It was too difficult. Copenhagen is well organised, and you have to break them. Christian Eriksen makes the right passes," and Christian Eriksen, justifiably so, got man of the match last night, and he was fantastic when he came on. Such a difference. But, you know, if you look at that first half, I mean, anything would have been better. I mean, the referee didn't even play 45 minutes. It was that bad. He went, "This is rubbish. Let's just go in, and maybe we'll come back out, and everyone will be better second half," because it was poor. It was really, really poor. Now, Ten Hag said about the team balance, of course, every game we have to change the back. You look to last year, we had a very good back four and so consistent with Casemiro in front of them every time we control the ball. This season, every time we had to swap the back four and the routines go away, and then the midfield opens up and we struggle to get the balance. We have seen games this season, we have not had good possession and we lose control in midfield, but I am sure when we get routines back in the back four, it gives the team a foundation to play off. So realistically, what he's sort of hinting at and intimating there, Erik ten Hag, is that once we get these sort of defensive injuries resolved, once we have, Luke Shaw come back, Martinez is quite longer term, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, or once we have, rather, a consistent back four that we can pick every single week, he is saying that we're going to control the game much better. It remains to be seen. I mean, it's still concerning, no doubt about the overall look. It's a massively important win. In the same way that when we beat Sheffield United at the weekend, we went into it saying, it's just about winning. We just have to win. That's the most important thing. Performances will have to come later on. We hope that it's going to be a performance that matches the results, but if not, whatever. We have to take it. But you cannot overlook that we said against Sheffield United after the game, it was a tough watch. Same thing here. Same thing this time around. It was a tough watch, particularly in the first half. Second half was better. Second half was better, and as I mentioned, we should have been 2-3-0 up, maybe even more than that. We didn't take our chances, and that's a concern that we'll get into later on. But first half, if you play like that and start that first half, the way we started last night, if we start like that against Manchester City, we could easily be 3 or 4 down. I mean, it was that bad. It was such a poor performance, and we've said that against Sheffield United, and we've said that against Brentford too. That is a concern. That is a worry. But what we needed to do last night, we did, and that was win. Because if we didn't win, we're out. And Andre Onana, we've got to thank for that. Harry Maguire, we've got to thank for that. Christian Eriksen, we've got to thank for that. But it needs to get better. And Ten Hag saying that once there's consistency in terms of team selection, it will get better. Man, I hope so. Because again, it's a tough watch. And you can't go through that every single week. People pointed out to me on the full-time view last night, and it's true. It's very true. It does have echoes of, with Ollie's last season, and we had these late drama results of Villarreal, Atalanta twice, and all this kind of stuff. That's great, and it's euphoric, and I'm not trying to play down what happened last night. Andre Onana, last gasp, penalty save, the drama fantastic. Scott McTominay scoring 2 goals in injury time. Oh, it's unbelievable. Diogo Dalot scoring at Bramall Lane with how many minutes left? Was it like 10 minutes left or something like that? It's great. Is it sustainable, though? Is it sustainable? And you do still have to take a cold, callous look at the performances overall and say it still needs to get better. Absolutely needs to get better. But if you want to relive some of the drama, if you want to kind of feel what it was like inside the stadium with all of this was going on, let's go to Flex's highlights. He was in the stands, he was watching the game, and we can see his reactions to everything that happened last night.
Harry Maguire! Harry, that's the time when you do it. This is the time when you cut your ears and say the pressure has been on, but I'm ready to accept the invitation to overcome it. Fair play, Harry Maguire. Fair play, Harry Maguire. He's had to deal with a lot. He's had to deal with so much. I said it in the car on the way here, didn't I, Josh? I said, he deserves his start. He's in good form. And no one else looked like scoring. All of our forwards fluffing their lines. And Harry Maguire comes out with a massive... Hojlund's going to be offside. I bet Hojlund's going to be offside. Oh, he's miles off. Oh, he's on his... Yes! Yes! As I was saying... Actually, you know what? No. Wait there. No. Yeah, well done. No. Listen to the cheer. I'm happy, but I'm nervous because we've done this. We need to manage the emotions of the game. Please, calm down. Oh no! How? We've given away a penalty. Last kick of the game, he's given a yellow card to McTominay. Oh my flipping God. I can't believe it. He's not even complaining either. It's a VAR check, but I tell you what, McTominay's not even complaining. He's not even complaining one bit. Oh, he doesn't touch him. That's not a pen. That's not a pen. That's not a penalty. No, that's not a penalty. That is not a penalty. That is not a penalty. No chance in a million years. No chance. That's not a penalty. That is not a penalty. That's not. Come on, don't rob us like this. It's so silent in Old Trafford, you can hear a pin drop. That is not a penalty. It's not. Oh my God! How? That's fucking kicking a game, man. All the time. How? Redemption! Is that it? That's it! Redemption! Andre Onana! Come on! Come on! Come on! Wow! Wow! Believe! He's had such a shit time! And he has literally just kept our lifeline of going through in the group alive. It wasn't even a penalty. What a save. Last kick of the game. Andre Onana has won us the game. Wow. Fair play, Andre. You deserve that, man. All the stick you've been taking, all the pelters he's been taking, the confidence, it's all on him. Look at him smiling. He deserves that. Harry Maguire deserved his moment, and Andre Onana deserved his moment. Well done.
Unbelievable stuff. I mean, unbelievable stuff. I mean, that tells the entire story. That's the show done. Incredible stuff, incredible reaction. That's just the tip of the iceberg this morning as well. If that's not worth a like, I don't know what is. Now, a poll is in the chat at the moment. It's quite an interesting one. Only been in there a couple of minutes. The question is very simple. Was it a penalty? Of course, we know it was given. But was it a penalty? Was it the right decision? For me, it was harsh. For me, I thought it was very, very, very harsh. And that ref was on another level last night. Again, mentioned AFCON settings first half. He only played 45 minutes. I thought half's meant to be a minimum of 45 minutes, let alone just, let's play 44, 50. It's basically the right, it's fine, whatever. I don't know if that's because, like, you know, kickoff, there was like a false start when it came to the kickoff. Maybe. So maybe I'm giving the benefit of the doubt there. I don't know. But for me, yeah, the question is, you know, was it a penalty? For me, I thought it was incredibly harsh. And it felt like, you know, sometimes, this was my problem with like Mike D when he was the referee in the Premier League. Some referees want to make themselves the centre of attention. Some referees love the drama and they're looking for stuff. I thought it was harsh. I thought it was soft. I do go back to, you make your own luck. In the sense of, it should have been irrelevant anyway. We shouldn't have been in the position where they're putting the ball in the box last minute and we're scrambling around and all this kind of stuff. We're scrambling, blah, blah, blah. So I can see the sense it's clumsy. It's clumsy from McTominay. And we were scrambling. We were scrambling around. I can see why he's given it. But for me, I thought... I thought it was harsh. I thought it was harsh, but it doesn't matter. Andre Onana saved it. That's all that matters there. So there's Flex's reactions to it. Regarding Andre Onana, look, obviously we know the criticism that he's faced this season, and justifiably so. Make no mistake, this is kind of an overarching theme with Onana and Maguire. Just because of the performance last night, that doesn't mean that the criticism on them hasn't been justified, you know, because the performances haven't been good enough from Andre Onana, new goalkeeper. Yes, takes some time to bed in. Yes, takes time to adjust, but he's an experienced player. He's played in Champions League semi-finals. He's played in Champions League finals last season too, and we expect more. And Eriksen said that in these press conferences too. He said in the press conference on Monday, he said that Andre knows he needs to be better. Andre knows the level, it hasn't been up to the level that it should be. He played better against Sheffield United. He made some decent saves. Couldn't do anything about the penalty that day. We've also conceded the penalty in every Champions League game this season. Do you know how crazy that is? We conceded one against Bayern, conceded one against Galatasaray, and we conceded one against FC Copenhagen. That means is there something going on with Manchester United and conceded penalties too? Conceded the one at the weekend against Sheffield United, but he played better against Sheffield United. And even if that penalty incident hadn't happened and all this kind of stuff, he made some big saves last night too. And that's what you're looking for. You know, I still have some reservations about, you know, the fundamentals of his sort of his goalkeeping, but it goes back to what we were talking about. Same with Harry Maguire. It's a perfect segue to Harry Maguire. It's about performances. You know, some of the criticism, as I mentioned, has been justified. Some of it's too far, obviously, and you know that the media and pundits are waiting to pounce, but the only way to silence all the critics and silence the doubters is putting in performances. Win games and put in performances that you go, tell you what, hold your hands up, you couldn't do anything. You couldn't do anything more that game. Andre Onana, as he said after the game, I'm just doing my job. And I think he was a bit above and beyond when it comes to it, frankly, yesterday. But he made big saves yesterday. He made saves against Sheffield United. Harry Maguire, look, I still haven't changed my mind in the sense of still think Harry Maguire should probably go in January or maybe next summer. Hey, we might be able to get some more money for him at this point. That's cool. But a credit to him, because what's it about? It's about performances. All you can do is go in, play your game, and play to the highest standard you possibly can. And all of the games which we're saying like these performances have been bad, I don't think anyone's come out after the games, even when we've been playing bad, saying, oh, and Harry Maguire's been rubbish. It's been other aspects of the team. When we played Brentford and we were looking at that back four and it was Evans and Maguire, no one was coming out after the game and going, oh, that defence was rubbish. No one was saying that. Even against Sheffield United, and we're going, that game, it was tough to watch, it was bad. No one's going, oh, and again, the defence was completely terrible. Same last night. Harry Maguire, again, credit to him, is putting in performances. And we were talking about going into the game, is he our most informed defender? Well, it's without a doubt. And granted, people can point to it's because he's the most available. That's true. People will talk about the win percentage, and you would point to, hey, well, you know, look at the teams he's faced. Look at the teams he's faced about that as well. So we'll see about that. But all he can do is put in performances. And I don't think these, you know, teams are, fans rather, are expecting Harry Maguire to come in and do what he did last night and score every game, because that's not his job. What his job is to do is to defend, is to bring the ball out from the back. His switches were pretty good too. So again, it's a credit to him. Certainly, a credit to him. Now, does it change his long-term future? I don't think so. Does it change the past? No, I don't think so. All he can change is the present, and that's his performances right now. And that's seemingly what he's doing. So again, big credit to Harry Maguire for that too. Now, we saw the reactions from Flex inside Old Trafford. Let's see the reactions, the highlights from inside UVHQ. KG, by the way, actually, I must actually set this up properly. Poor Owen, because I didn't realise this at the time. You'll see when Harry Maguire scores, I'm doing 10 million things and all this kind of stuff. So I saw that, you know, Maguire scores, KG has a big reaction. Next thing I know, he's on the floor and he says he fainted. I'm not making this up. Take a look.
Eriksen! He's the one with the techers. Maguire! Do you know what man just said? Man just said, I'm the captain! I'm the captain! Hey, KG! I finished! Get up! I finished! Man, I don't want to best your bubble, but you know what? Guys, I don't want to best your bubble.
They say we don't celebrate! It's the now! Come on!
Economic Maguire.
Listen,
Come on, you know.
Man them.
Yeah. And then reckless behaviour from McTominay there. High foot in the box.
Onana, please, bro. I'll bring the song back.
This will be the biggest celebration.
I'll bring the song back. I'll bring the song back.
Do you know what?
I'll bring the song back. I'll bring the song back. I'll bring the song
back.
back.
1-0's never good enough, especially when you're at home.
I'll bring the song back. I'll bring the song back. Onana, please.
You should have killed the game off.
I'll bring the song back. Please, Onana. Let it be on. This could be your moment for you, bro. This could be. Onana, this could be your moment, fam.
It actually could be his moment.
This could be your moment.
It really could be his moment.
This could be your moment. Please.
But this is shocking. If we concede,
please,
I'm walking out.
Get knocked out of this tournament.
He's missed. something De Gea can do.
Wait, hold on, wait. Yeah, finish this.
KG. The fate was very strange. If you look at his face, I don't know what was going on. But I know I enjoyed it. That's the most important thing. Shout out to everyone on the match view last night. Shout out to KG, Raph, Louis, and Rich. that was crazy. I forgot to say also, by the way, because it's happened before we even went live, WJ Barrett, I think he's got a gold badge. So he's not a new member of the Members Club, of course, long-time member, but there you go. Got to put your flowers on you, WJ Barrett. If you wish to join the UV membership, you can do so. Links in the video description. It's also the pinned comment on the live chat. You get your badges, you get your emojis, and you get your exclusive members-only content as well. I actually filmed KG last night at UVHQ. I can't say what it is because it's early in the morning and it's kind of grotesque. But it's going to be coming to a future episode of UV Raw. All I will say is he had to leave the building for a specific reason, and he explained to me what said specific reason was. So that's coming soon, and you can access that if you are a member of the UV Members Club. It's unbelievable. How many likes are we currently at the moment? We're at 160 likes. So if you haven't already clicked the like button, let's see if we can get to 200. Let's see if we can get to 200 likes. Some people they're pretty close to the money as to what was going on with KG as well. Big up Kenny Fan TV says, big up the Kennedy says, what has Man United psychologically done to KG? He looked slim as, it's cut off there. I can't see what it says. He looked slim as hell. Oh, wow. It was detox. That's what it is. Pure detox is what it did to him. Yes. KG. By the time we get to the end of the season, he's going to be like a stick. He's going to be tremendous. What else are we going to talk about? Christian Eriksen. I do want to talk about Christian Eriksen before I get to the rest of the stuff, because we've still got so much to get to. Christian Eriksen changed the game when he came on last night. As I mentioned, got awarded the man of the match, and rightfully so. And do you know what with Christian Eriksen? There is this sort of weird disrespect sort of surrounding him, isn't there? Whereby we kind of forget how important he was to us last season, particularly in the early stages of last season. I remember him coming in and all of us being stunned. We don't have any players that can pass the ball like that. Christian Eriksen, we always said, the pass before the pass. That's what he is, the pass before the pass. And as the season went on, of course, he had that injury in January last season when he got snapped by Andy Carroll, didn't he, against Reading. And then it got to the end of the season, and basically I think people had decided that his legs are gone and he basically couldn't get around anymore, and that was kind of it. And in reality, that's a disservice to Christian Eriksen. Now, is he perfect for every game at this point? No, he's not. He's not. When you do need legs in there, and you do need mobility and movement and tracking back, that's going to be a problem. That's going to be a problem for you. However, when you're going to have more of the ball, when you want to keep the ball more often, and when you need that extra bit of guile, a bit of creativity, he is still, I've said it time and time and time again, he is still our best technical midfielder at the club. Nothing has changed in that respect over the summer. He is still the best technical midfielder player that we've got. And we saw it last night. He came on and he started running the game. From a deeper position, it allowed Bruno to get higher up the pitch. And he's just quality. Now, is Eriksen going to start against City at the weekend? You'd probably lean to no, because again, you do need that mobility and you do need those legs, and you probably need a more defensive-minded approach. However, the way you want to try and balance it up is when you're trying to play on a counter-attacking sort of style or counter-attacking system, you do need those players that have the ability to find that pass, to find those wingers or those forward players to set off the counter-attack, and Christian Eriksen can do that. So there is certainly a dilemma with that, but you know, this mindset that, you know, his legs are gone, doesn't have really a part to play, he's a fringe player, anything but. He is still coming on, still controlling games, and still really dictating the tempo of games. And he's a class act, and it's about the right games and the right time to use them. As I mentioned, I'd be looking at that. We talk about replacing all of these players, don't we? Who's going to be the long-term replacement for this person? Who's going to be the long-term replacement for that person? Who's going to be the long-term replacement for Christian Eriksen? Because we still don't have anyone that can do the things that he can on the ball in terms of his passing and in terms of his way of dictating the tempo. That's a key thing for me, certainly. So Christian Eriksen, man of the match, came on, changed the game. And look, credit to Ten Hag, because he recognised that. He saw that, particularly in our first half. I mean, first 15 minutes, Copenhagen just bopped the ball around like it was a madness. We barely touched the ball in the first 15 minutes. I was worried. I thought they're playing us off the park. And Ten Hag recognised that, said we need more of the ball. We need to dictate the game better. We need to control this and grab the game by the scruff of the neck. And that's what Christian Eriksen did. So, again, a credit to him, certainly. Let's get some reaction now. Let's go to Flex outside Old Trafford. Here are his thoughts on the game.
Does anything easy. Almost gave me a heart attack in there, honestly, man. Blood pressure through the roof. Where do you start? Let's just start with the stars of the show, really. Andre Onana, match winner, man. Really, really happy for him. Massive, massive save. Harry Maguire with the winning goal as well. And the man of the match, even though technically you could say it's Onana, but Christian Eriksen. I know he got it on TNT as well, with the UEFA man of the match. He completely changed the game. That game, that performance, it's been indicative of what we've been, man. We're not good on the eye. We're not fun to watch. We're not exciting. We're not proactive. We're not aggressive for large spells anyway. First half, it was so bad. It just wasn't working. I mean, Erik's tried to go with Scott McTominay as a 10 or the most advanced midfielder. And he said we needed more football. We kind of said it like when Casemiro was playing. He come off again at half time. And I think the same move happened. I think it was Eriksen who come on then. And it's like we seem to be not learning from that. Whether Erik's looking at it from a tactical point of view, I don't know why he's persisting with Scott. And then we're making changes to say we want more football. Like, you know, it wasn't working when with Amrabat and Scott McTominay in their midfield and Bruno. Bruno was deep next to Amrabat. It was sideways. It was boring. It was lethargic. You know, Hojlund's feeding off scraps. Rashford wasn't in the game. We were just waiting for a moment. That's all we were waiting for, is a moment. And when you bring the better footballers onto the pitch, when you bring people with a bit of tech, a little bit of know-how, a little bit of quality, the game completely changed. And I'm not saying we battered Copenhagen in the second half, because we didn't. Even that wasn't, you know, exactly how we want our Manchester United to look, but it was so much better than the first half. I don't know why Mason Mount isn't playing as well. I don't know what's gone on there. Has he picked up a slight injury, or is he not quite right? Came on really late against Sheffield United, didn't feature tonight, and I thought the game was crying out for him. But Christian Eriksen was the difference maker. And in the game, in the first half, that, you know, lacked so much quality. I think Paul Scholes said on TNT that it just looked like a Europa League game, you know, not much quality in it. And Copenhagen just looking comfortable. They weren't playing us off the park, but it was just us just allowing them to be comfortable, allowing them to play their game. You know, Onana saves a shot that's going wide after like a minute and a half. Then in the 4th minute, they hit the post. You know, Harry Maguire goes in on the play after Amrabat loses it. And then they're in, the ball goes over Rafa Varane's head. Dallow's late arriving and they nearly score. And you're thinking, here we go again. We get to half time with a really lethargic, poor performance. And Erik Ten Hag said it was really, really poor. And we've got to, I feel like a broken record, we've got to improve on that. Like, we have to play, we can't play like that against City, we'll get absolutely destroyed. But it is frustrating to keep seeing that we're not starting games properly. I mean, we were against bottom of the league on Saturday against Sheffield United, and for the first 20 minutes, they were just as comfortable as Copenhagen. Copenhagen obviously created a little bit more. And when you look at the overall chances created, probably about five shots on target each, or 5 and 4, you know, 15 shots a pop each. It was a fairly even game. The only time I'd say we dominated was once we scored the first goal, we should have went on to score the second and put the game out of sight. And what I will say is, although the chances look quite even, my biggest criticism of us today is when we did get in a little bit of a groove, we did get on the front foot, we were just so wasteful. Rashford clean through on goal, takes a baggy touch, hits off his shin, goes out for a goal kick. Garnacho clean through, Stutters, gets nervous, keeper comes in and gets it, I think, or did he run it out of play? I think the keeper come and got it. Scott McTominay, I think, set him a pass at the edge of the box. Yeah, that was it when it was 3-on-2. Should have scored. Then McTominay himself hits it over the bar. Just not putting the game to bed in crucial positions. And that nearly bit us in the arse.
He's right, he is Flex. He's absolutely right. It nearly did bite us. And that's happened a couple of times this season, you know, when it comes to killing off games. It happened last season, frankly, as well. It's not really a new phenomenon at Manchester United, really, is it? Is that got to take your chances, even if you're not playing particularly well. At this level in the Champions League and in the Premier League, if you don't take your chances, as I mentioned earlier on, you make your own luck. And by that, I mean, if you get opportunities, and not just like half chances or anything like that, we're talking, aren't we? One-on-one, through on goal. You know, Rashford and Garnacho essentially did the same thing. A heavy touch, overdoing it, getting too thought up about what they were going to do. You have to take them. And it is still a concern. Again, not only the first half performance, but I think if you look at from an attacking point of view, you look at these victories we've had. This was our third consecutive win in all competitions, but where are the goals coming from? That's the real alarming and concerning thing, isn't it, realistically? Where are the goals coming from? Whether it was against Brentford, Scott McTominay scores twice, central midfielder, but not really known for his goals at Manchester United. Whether it's against Sheffield United, McTominay again, Diogo Dalot. Last night, Harry Maguire. You're still looking at those forward players and saying, it's not even necessarily a chance creation thing, because we did create chances last night, gilt-edged chances, but you're not taking them. I still feel an element of sympathy for Rasmus Hojlund. I do think they're finding him more, and they're trying to find him more, but still, that needs to be, those routines need to get better. Rashford, he's still nowhere near the level that he was last season. I mean, I don't know if it was as bad as it was, prior to the international break, but it's still not good. It's still not good in the slightest. And you can still tell that there is some pressure or confidence issues there, clearly, because again, heavy touches and still nowhere near the level he was last season. Again, that I remember last season, particularly when he was playing against like Barcelona, and you just thought, this guy is just completely feeling himself at the moment. He doesn't have a care in the world. He backs himself. He's got this confidence of, I'm a great player in great form. I can do anything. And he just looks the complete opposite of that. And it's amazing to see the drop-off, realistically, to go from that level of confidence to this level of confidence, just completely vanishing. And to be honest, when it looked like he was going to get substituted and it wasn't him that went off in the end, it was Hojlund, I think, that went off. When it was Rashford that was coming off, it was for Martial. The only surprising thing you thought is, Martial going to play left wing? Is that what's going to happen? But you weren't surprised that Rashford was going off. That was part of it. Bruno again, maybe that captain armband weighs very heavy, because Bruno Fernandes, since he's been named the official captain, he got goal of the month for his goal against Burnley, but still, he did a good pass to put through Garnacho for the opportunity that he missed. But in still the totality of the game, it's still, again, so inconsistent. You have no idea what you're going to get with Bruno from minute to minute. Really, from minute to minute, and it goes through games at points too. Anthony, look, I know he does his defensive work, but this is what I was kind of saying about Anthony previously. For all of this talk about, good, Anthony's back now, that's cool, we've got the right-hand side resolved, we were still having these conversations. I remember after the Arsenal game actually going forward, like, what is he really offering? First half, there was a nice move where he had a good interchange with Hojlund, and Hojlund did the back heel, and United nearly scored from that. And you go, that's cool, but that's one moment in 90 minutes. There needs to be more. There needs to be more. There needs to be a bigger output. It needs to be, you can't be perfect every single time you go forward, but there needs to be a bigger output from everyone involved there. Rashford, Bruno, Anthony, and again, I sympathise with Hojlund, but they're all in there together. And it's got to be better. It has to be better, and it has to be more consistent, because we can't rely constantly on McTominay, Maguire, Dalot scoring these goals. It's good that they're chipping in, but that's not their primary function. The primary function of them is to do their individual jobs defensively. When it comes to those attacking players, they got to create chances and score goals. So it needs to be better. It needs to be better. But let's bring the energy back up. Let's go to KG, who I think probably will have a song to sing.
Na 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 na, oh na 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 na, oh na 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 na, whoa.
Come on. Onana went home. He consulted the ancestors. After we said he needs to go back to Africa, joined up with the Cameroonian squad, and they spoke to him. It's like that, you know him in the Black Panther. It's like that scene. He was in the purple bit, you know. He's probably had that fruit, and they said, "Listen, what are you doing?" They spoke to him, and he realized. He came home. He said, "I know who I am. I'm the Black Panther." Came home, saved it, blood. No, I'm happy, fam, and I've been shameless. I have been on Onana's neck, bro. I've been on. Listen, I was on fraud watch. Fraud watch. I said, what happened to the guy that was killing it? What happened to this? Again, South Africans gave me the term blowy. Blowy. It means cursed. They told me, bro, I've been speaking to them. They told me the hyenas have affected this guy's game. Anyway, listen, Onana, well done. Big moment for you. I'm so happy for that moment that you had with Peter Schmeichel's a legend. It's, you know, because the last time it's been Apology FC. Every time something goes wrong, you come out and apologize. And it's been horrible, man. This is not what we wanted for Onana. So him to have that moment at the end of the game, bro, it was literally in his hands. Heroic moments. To know everyone criticizing him up like this. Everyone is in his face. Come on. And that's when you just become a member of the team. Because listen, David De Gea, he's been getting to restaurants. He's been with the team. And you know what I mean? He was like, rah, listen, is there way back in for me? David, there's no way back in. Oh man, proper flip-flop. But listen, I don't care. Shameless as it is, yeah, that was a big moment. Again, nervous. And I said, listen, I'm gonna believe in this guy until the African nations. If this guy don't get it right by the African nations, I'm done. I'm done. You know what I mean? So what a moment. Incredible scenes, man. And I'm really happy for him to just hear the Old Trafford faithful singing. But there's another player. There's another retribution story. And we have to talk about it. Harry Maguire. Maguire, economical Maguire. Listen, Maguire, I have been the #1 candidate. Not saying I've said the mad horrible things, but I wanted this guy to leave. I wanted him to leave. I wanted him out of the club. When West Ham was interested, I said, bro, I will drive him. M6 toll, I'll pay the charge. You know, and then the deal breaks down. I'm devastated. I was devastated. I was like, what the hell? Like, how, man? He says he wants to fight for his shirt. I said, are you smoking crack? But then guess what? It turns up. Harry Maguire says, I want to fight for my badge. I believe I should be at this club. He doesn't want to take a step down. And bloody hell, listen, this is what we're talking about. Sancho, are you watching? Maguire was out in the cold, behind Lindelof, behind Shaw, ain't starting in big games. Armband ripped off him, the true scapegoat of all situations. And guess what? Mental fortitude. That's what you have to call it. Mental fortitude. The first game, did he deserve the ratings that he was given? Probably not. Like, he done well, but it wasn't a man in the match performance. English media, go crazy. Go crazy today, because we've never seen that. We say, Harry Maguire, when are those headed goals going to come? When are you going to be a threat inside the box? Harry Maguire answers the call. Today he answers the call. I believe taking the armband off him is the best thing that could have ever happened to Harry Maguire. He'll probably deny it, but you don't have to worry about these things. We're not looking at you for super leadership, bro. Just clear your lines, do your job. When you got Harry Maguire looking up, trying to spray and stuff, I'm like, yo, where did this guy come from?
Where did this guy come from? Indeed, shout out KG as well. Excellent job hosting the match view last night inside UVHQ. Now, there is a poll in the chat. Some people are saying they can't see it. I think YouTube's having a weird thing with the polls this morning as well. So if you can see it, get your votes in. If you can't, just let us know in the comments. And it's a very simple question. What is your prediction? What's your Manchester Derby prediction? A United win, a City win, or a draw? Has last night's euphoria given you hope? Or are you saying, look, it's papering over the craps? Cracks. I'm thinking of KG, why he had to go outside. I've given it away. Yeah, some people are saying, yeah, it's the poll's the craps at the moment. So you can get your predictions in there as well. A United win, a City win, or a draw. But I thought at the moment it's very close. 42% say United win, 42% say City win, 16% say draw. So I don't know. I'll give my prediction later on in the week, certainly, as well. We also have an interview with Rasmus Hojlund. Flex caught up with Hojlund after the game. It's a quick one, but here's what United striker had to say.
I know you're tired, and you've seen your brother. You probably want to go play some PlayStation and stuff like that. Yeah. Listen, we don't do things easily, man. Last minute against Brentford, last minute tonight. Sum up that feeling, and can we take that into the derby now against Manchester City?
Yeah, I know we haven't been pretty, but in the end, we got a little bit of luck now. I think we had we didn't have the luck at the same time in the beginning of the season, and now we, of course, Andre made a great save today, and like you said. We've done, like you said, we haven't made it easy for you guys, but in the end, it's 3 wins in a row.
What's it like in the dressing room as well when you win like that? Does it feel like now we can turn the corner, now we can start to build some performances and play how we want to play for longer in spells? Eric said obviously the first half wasn't what we want to see, but second half so much better.
Yeah, like you say, I think it was better in the second half, and we have to build on that. I think we can turn it around, but in the end we gotta work hard and make the small details every day. And when it's not working on the pitch, you gotta work hard as a unit, and in the end it's about winning, and we have done.
In the end, it's about winning, and we've done it in the last 3 games, certainly, as well. Speaks really well. You forget how young he is, Rasmus Hojlund, too. And Erik ten Hag pointed this out in the press conference on Monday as well, that he missed so much time. Obviously, the transfer took ages, so he didn't have a pre-season with us anyway. Then when he came in, he had the back injury, and that meant he missed the first 4 games of the season. So, one, he's still developing anyway. 2, he's still sort of bedding in. And we have seen glimpses and flashes of... I was talking to actually some opposition fans last night, and they were saying to me that actually, he's a proper player. You can tell there's something there, certainly with Rasmus Hojlund. The thing is that we have to adapt to him. We have to keep trying to find him. Again, I've said a million times, and I'll keep saying it. I sympathise with him realistically. I sympathise with him because sometimes it's a poison chalice. Sometimes it feels like he's fighting a losing battle with. Trying to get the ball, trying to get service. You think to yourself, man, if he was in a team where they're actively, constantly trying to find him, giving him chances, he'd score so many goals. And I think the game against Galatasaray in the Champions League was a real indication of what he's all about. Again, power, pace, decent finisher too, good feet. He just needs to be found more. He just needs to, again, look to those wide players and also look to people like Bruno Fernandes. Give him chances, create chances. And it can't just be, look, I get at the elite level, it should be 1 chance goal. Sometimes that's not always the case. And he needs a constant stream of chances. Even someone like Erling Haaland, he doesn't score every single time he gets in front of goal, but he has constant chances throughout the game. And that's what it needs to be for Rasmus Hojlund. So, again, I think there's a lot of positives there, but they need to give him service. Absolutely. V33 says, captaincy is cursed. Can Man United not appoint one? Well, again, the weight of the armband is indeed very, very heavy, isn't it? Certainly. Let's get some more reaction. Let's go to Raph inside UBHQ. Here's what Raph thought about the game.
I'm gassed, bro.
Yeah.
And do you know why I'm gassed?
Talk to me.
We have a goalie from Cameroon. People doubted him. People said he's had a bad start. I doubted him as well.
Yep.
But what did he do today? He saved us. In the last second of the game, he saved us with not just any random save, but a great penalty stop.
Bro, degree of difficulty right now. We was going out that tournament, it was over, it was finished.
Yeah.
He turns up.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm just so gassed. You can hear it in my voice. My voice is completely gone. I'm so happy. So proud of the boys, all of them.
So again, talk to me, because that game was like 2 completely different halves. How did Man United win that game?
Yeah, in the first half, I think the idea of having McTominay there and him playing so high up just didn't work. And credit to Ten Hag, he didn't wait until the 60th or 70th minute to make the change. He changed it at half time. I was surprised he took off Amrabat, but the main thing was getting on someone into the midfield who can move the ball around, and also McTominay needed to get out of the way. That freed up Bruno, and it worked. We created more chances. Eriksen putting a lovely ball in for Maguire, and what did he do? Back in the net. Back in the net, mate. Back in the net. So yeah, I'm gassed, honestly.
Oh man, it's an awesome moment. And talk to me about Maguire, because again, he has to. The last game, they got man of the match. today felt like the real man of the match performance. Talk to me about his performance today.
Yeah, I mean, I said before the game that I felt as though giving him man of the match or giving him so much praise over the Sheffield United game was a bit of an exaggeration. We dragged it a little bit, but in this game, he thoroughly deserved it. To me, he was the man of the match because even in that first half, where we weren't playing so well defensively, he was still quite good. And then in that second half, on the ball, off the ball, and then to once again get that goal, that header, I thought he played really well today.
You know, I'm really happy. I'm happy for him because, again, the Stretford end was singing his name at the end of the game, which is brilliant for him.
Yeah.
And will that just give him the right confidence? Can he really push on now?
I hope so. I mean, against City, he's definitely starting.
Yeah.
He would have said that a few months ago, that going into a derby against City, Maguire will definitely start. Hopefully he can build on from this performance, and then even when Martinez and our other defenders gets back, fight for a place. That's what we want.
This is what I'm saying, man. It's crazy because Lindelof gets dropped. He goes with his guy. But then we have to talk. I'll be remiss if we don't talk about how bad we are in front of goal, though, in terms of our strike force.
Yeah, there's one thing that's disappointing from today's game is us not being clinical enough. I mean, some poor first touches from Garnacho, from Hojlund, from Rashford, even from Anthony as well. And then even when they're in front of the goal, I want to see them shoot and put it in the back of the net. We miss way too many chances. This game, especially that second half, could have easily been 3-0. We need to be more clinical. Against City, we won't have as many chances. So when we get those chances, we need to put them away.
It's a really good point that Raph makes, actually, about Harry Maguire, is that I'm assuming that everyone's like, he's probably going to start against Manchester City, right? And when he does start, because I agree with what Raph is saying, he's most likely going to start that game now because he's the most informed defender that we've got. The reaction isn't going to be as negative maybe as it would have been 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, is it? Which again, I think is a testament to him and his recent performances and the way that he sort of turned it around for himself a little bit recently, particularly because I think that defence that started last night was going to start against City. There's not going to be any changes to it, realistically. It'll be Reguilon, Varane, Maguire, and Dalot. But there aren't really many other options, you know, realistically. Yes, you could put in Lindelof, but I think that defence will be the same. And again, I think that's a credit. I think that's a credit to him. And as I mentioned, like a month ago, to say that, oh yeah, Maguire's going to start, would have been outraged. Oh my goodness me. And not in the sense of you feel still, you know, you're feeling completely calm or anything like that. You're still going, Harry Maguire up against Erling Haaland, that's going to be very concerning, isn't it? Very concerning. But again, I think that's a credit to how he's performed. But still, he has to perform in that game as well. If he has a complete stinker and gets completely run ragged, then a lot of that goodwill is going to vanish very, very, very quickly. And I don't think he or anyone would be naive to think otherwise, because again, it's football is a what have you done lately for me business, you know, and you're only as good as your last match. So it's going to have to be a big performance. Let's go to one final response and reaction to the game. Rich spoke to KG after the game.
I'm just happy we got the win. And, you know, first of all, we have to get it straight out there. Maguire and Onana, well done. The mentality for Maguire to be able to sit that back for the last 6 months, 18 months even, 12 months, whatever, and act appropriately. You know, he didn't do a Sancho or anything like that. Sancho, I hope you're watching, bro, because come on, like, this is he set an example here.
It's an example.
It's an example. And he's come back, let's not get carried away, but he had an assist in the 2 games ago, got man of the match last game. Obviously, it was like a pseudo man of the match, wasn't really a man of the match. This game as well, he man of the match performance. He's at least up there with one of the man of the match. And, you have to give him props for that. Secondly, Onana, this guy, like...
We were nervous. The whole of
Africa
was nervous.
I don't know if you saw my reaction. I was just like... I was shocked. I was not expecting it.
Yes.
I never expected it.
I never expected it.
Because
to down the line.
We're not used to that. Okay, De Gea did it in his last game or last 2 games, whatever. But I did not expect that. So, once again, hopefully this is a confidence builder for this guy.
These two players that were void of confidence and just in the dark, in the cold, have come back and done something.
Yeah, and that's what you love to see, and it shows good mentality from the team. It shows good camaraderie. And at the end there, you saw everybody hugging, obviously it's huge. It's the relief. But it's just lovely to see. And like I said, going forward, it has to mean something.
Yes.
It has to mean something, confidence-wise. Obviously, next game now is City, so it could just knock us all back down to earth. But it has to mean
something. But now we're in the competition. This was such an important week. And Champions League, we could have been on our way out. Man United now, they can go into that City game feeling a bit more confident than they have been before, where it's been a total crisis.
Yeah, and I think the problem actually is that we're struggling to find the balance at the back. Okay, the back did well today, but it's somehow affecting the midfield, because really what I should say, we're struggling to find a balance in midfield, but I actually think it stems from the back, because we've had so many changes in that back line. You know, Maguire and Varane today. We had
I like that combination.
It worked. It definitely worked. And, you know, Reguilon finally having a left back, it was nice. Dalot was decent today. In fact, both fullbacks didn't really do anything crazy. They were just solid. But that kind of balance we've been struggling to find. And that first half, we did not have no balance. McTominay all over the place, not in the midfield. Amrabat obviously moving around a lot as well, so he's not really staying in the midfield. Bruno was invisible. Second half now, you see more balance, you see more football. Again, you know, Ten Hag said that when he took off Casemiro that time, I want more football. Yeah. He got that with Eriksen in the second half.
At least he knows that Eriksen is the man to go to when you need more football.
Yeah, but then the problem is, why can't we start like that?
Yes.
And a lot of people, I don't think many people were even screaming for Eriksen to start anyway. We're thinking about Mount, we're thinking about, you know, maybe when Casemiro's back, even though he's had a tough start to the season. But in going forward, we need to find that balance. We can't be looking for it in game, because for facing City, for facing Liverpool, 4-0 down, you can't be looking for the balance after.
And it's an interesting one that Rich points out there, and it's true. You got to make it count for something. You do. Because I was thinking this after the game, not to be totally defeatist and let yourself get swept up in the moment, Owen, but like, that's great. Obviously, the result was, you know, it shouldn't have been that dramatic last night, and the first half in particular really poor. But, you know, the late drama, brilliant, great. If you go away and lose to Copenhagen, we're still out. You know what I mean? There's still work to be done. You know, there's still games that need to be won. And obviously, the more immediate game is the game against Manchester City, the Manchester Derby at the weekend. And let's just hope, certainly, that because it's now 3 wins in a row, there is some semblance of momentum. There is a grit to the team that wasn't there. But you can also not be naive. You can't be naive and suggest that, if we play like we've been playing recently, we'll beat City, because we won't. You know, we've got to play better. We've got to play better. And hopefully what Ten Hag was saying earlier is true, when he's saying that if we have a bit more consistency in terms of our team selection and sort of defence, we'll start controlling games a bit more, I hope. But in terms of the Champions League, again, this is just step one. We still need to be near enough perfect when it comes to the remainder of our group games. We've still got to beat Copenhagen away. We've still got to, I say, get something from Galatasaray. That might be the point. And then you beat Bayern at home. By that point, Bayern are already through. Maybe that's how it's looking. Bayern beat Galatasaray last night. So, there's still ways to go here, and performances still have to get significantly better than where they were for large parts of last night, where they have been for large parts of the last few games anyway, despite us getting the win. So again, here's hoping that momentum is continuing to be built here. V33 says the fridge got upgraded to one with wheels. Glory, glory, Maynard. Come on. I've always felt really uncomfortable with the fridge thing, because it's not football at that point. You know what I mean? It's just names. I'm just a bit like, I don't know. For me, I'm just always like, that's not my thing. But there you go, guys. It's another edition of Match Day Reloaded. Be sure to smash the like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. What's on tap for the remainder of the day? Well, I'll tell you what's on tap for the rest of the day. We've got Trafford Talk coming up again, 6 p.m, live here on the channel with the full panel. So be sure to check those guys out. Really enjoyed watching that first episode last week, so that's going to be back. There's plenty to discuss, isn't there? Oh my goodness me. Obviously, you got the game last night. You've got the upcoming Manchester Derby, so it's going to be interesting to see what the thoughts are about all of that. So be sure to join live at 6 p.m. And a reminder, as always, you can check out everything you've seen this morning in longer form. You can check it out on the channel. There's all of the fan views, there's the match view, there's a full-time view, which was always a fun show last night. It was a really actually fun show last night, so be sure to check that out too, as well as obviously a plethora of other things coming up in the future as well. So if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe, bottom right hand corner, and remember, you can join the UV Members Club. Links in the video description. It's also the pinned comment in the live chat. Have a good Wednesday morning, and I'll speak to you again very soon. I'm out of here. Peace.